All right, welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here with us today because we are embarking on a truly fascinating journey. Today, we're exploring the deep, rich traditions of indigenous cultures across the Americas, and we're looking specifically at a plant that has profoundly shaped their spiritual landscape for centuries. We're going to start by looking at its physical traditions and rituals, and honestly, what starts as a look at a specific plant might just completely shift how you view your own world. Let's get into it. To kick things off, let's start with a really provocative question. What exactly makes a plant a master? When we, in the modern world, think of plants, we usually think of, well, actually, we mostly just think of biology, right? Botany, agriculture, maybe some nice landscaping. But in many indigenous traditions, certain plants are recognized not just as biological specimens, but as living entities. We're talking teachers, guides, and mediators. Calling a plant a master reframes our entire worldview right from the jump. It suggests a hierarchy of wisdom where humanity isn't necessarily sitting at the top. We're the students, and the plant is the instructor. Now, right out of the gate, we have to draw a huge, stark line here. When we hear the word tobacco, a lot of us immediately picture commercial tobacco. You know, the heavily processed stuff engineered by massive industries, associated with devastating addiction, exploitation, and those widespread health crises that have tragically impacted so many indigenous communities as well. Listen, that is not what we're talking about today. At all. We are exploring sacred traditional tobacco. This is often hand-prepared, sometimes blended with native plants like red willow bark or dogwood. It is used strictly with intention, deep respect, and for healing. It's viewed as a sacred medicine and a direct gift from the creator. The difference is literally night and day. Okay, let's dive into this. Why is sacred tobacco considered the master plant above all the rest? Think of it like a vital ignition key. Traditional teachings describe tobacco as the primary connector and the activator of all other plant spirits. Imagine you have a beautiful car with an incredibly powerful engine. That engine might be the purifying power of sage, or maybe the protective power of cedar. But without the ignition key, that car isn't going anywhere. Tobacco is that key. It formally opens the doorway to the spirit world. Before you engage with other medicines, or even the land itself, you offer tobacco to turn that spiritual ignition. This entire spiritual ecosystem relies on the four sacred medicines. You have sweetgrass, sage, cedar, and tobacco. Notice where tobacco sits in the spiritual geography. The eastern door. In many traditions, the east represents the rising sun, new beginnings, the start of all things. By placing tobacco at the eastern door, it perfectly illustrates its role as the ultimate initiator. You just cannot start the journey of healing or communication without first walking through that eastern door. It's the catalyst that makes every other spiritual action possible. Section 1. Echoes of the Ancestors, Legends of the Leaf. Let's look at the Cherokee myth of the hummingbird. According to the legend, at the dawn of time, the world's only tobacco plant is stolen by these fearsome dugulku geese. Without this life-affirming plant, the people begin to suffer immensely, and an old woman is right on the brink of death. All these strong, powerful animals try to fight the geese and fail. But then, the tiny, totally underestimated hummingbird steps up. He is so incredibly fast, darting in with blinding speed, snatching the top leaves and seeds before the massive geese even know what hit them. He brings it back, blows the smoke over the dying woman, and bam, she is instantly revived. It shows us that tobacco isn't just a plant, it is a life-saving medicine, and getting it back required immense, selfless bravery. This next story brilliantly illustrates another dimension of its sacredness, this time from the Crow tradition. Step 1. Star Boy, who is seeking his heritage, climbs this towering mountain to reach the heavens. Step 2. His celestial father, who is a literal star, pulls the tobacco plant directly from his own shining chest and gifts it to his son. Step 3. Star Boy brings it all the way down to his brother, Earth Boy, who holds the medicine pipe of the earth. When the star-born tobacco meets the earth-born pipe, it creates ultimate peace. It's just a stunning metaphor showing that tobacco is a supernatural gift, literally designed from the start to bridge the heavens and the earth. And over in the Iroquois or Haudenosaunee legend, we see yet another profound origin story. Tobacco first grows from the head of Sky Woman after she passes away, giving birth to the world. It's this incredibly direct reminder of the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. And honestly, the key takeaway from all of these myths is that humanity's role is simply to be the gardener. We didn't invent this medicine, it was entrusted to us. We have a sacred spiritual duty to tend to this life-affirming covenant with the exact same care and reverence that it took to acquire it in the first place. Section 2. The language of protocol, rituals of respect. So how do these epic myths translate into daily action? Well, the protocols of the pipe ceremony are highly structured. This isn't just about smoking. It is a formal, binding act of spiritual communication. The pipe is held by a designated pipe carrier. Everyone sits in a circle, which is absolutely crucial because it ensures absolute equality among the participants. The pipe is passed clockwise, and prayers are meticulously offered to the 7 directions. When the pipe is lit, the smoke carries the absolute truth of the speakers straight to the Creator. Because of this, the pipe ceremony actually acts as a stopper of conflict. When you invoke the Creator's presence into the circle through the sacred tobacco, hostility and deceit, they simply cannot exist in that space.
Tobacco also acts as this kind of universal currency of protocol and respect. Let's say you need guidance, maybe a song or a specific teaching from an elder. You don't just walk up and demand it. You prepare a tobacco tie. You carefully wrap tobacco in cloth tied with a string. You approach the elder and offer it, and you specifically hold it in your left hand, the hand closest to the heart. Presenting it is a binding request. If the elder accepts the tobacco, they're accepting the spiritual responsibility to share their knowledge. It binds the seeker and the elder in an unbreakable agreement of mutual respect. But you know, it's not just for these grand ceremonies. It's woven deeply into the fabric of daily life, too. Leaving a pinch of tobacco on the ground or on the water before harvesting wild rice, before hunting, or even just passing a significant landmark, like a powerful waterfall, that is a daily act of gratitude. It reminds us of a really beautiful concept. Humans are just participants in a continuous, ongoing conversation with nature. We aren't the owners of the land, not at all. We're guests, we're relatives, and tobacco is the language we use to keep that chat respectful and honest. So the crucial point here is that these are serious spiritual engagements. They're not theatrical performances. If you are ever invited to witness these traditions, the rules are absolute. There is strict intentionality in every single movement. Protocols surrounding gender and a woman's moon time, which is when she's considered to hold immense, balancing spiritual power, those must be honored. And there is almost always an absolute ban on photography, audio, or video recording unless an elder explicitly permits it. It's an environment that requires immense humility and total presence. Section 3. The transcendent, the art of letting go. This brings us to a huge philosophical shift. In modern Western philosophy, we are kind of obsessed with permanence, right? We want to build stone monuments, we want to leave an indestructible legacy, and essentially conquer nature so we won't be forgotten. But indigenous philosophy challenges that desire directly. Here, the focus isn't on permanence at all. It's on the great circle, cyclical renewal. Life, death, and rebirth are a continuous loop. Change isn't something to be feared or fought. Change is literally the very heartbeat of life itself. To really wrap our heads around this, let's look at the Navajo concept of hozo, or harmony. Think of it with this surprisingly simple metaphor. Harmony is like riding a bicycle. You cannot achieve balance by standing perfectly still. To stay upright, you have to keep moving, keep pedaling, and keep adjusting to the terrain. Indigenous philosophy doesn't encourage, say, a Buddhist detachment from a changing world. Rather, it encourages deep, active engagement with it. You lean into the turns of life's continuous energy exchange. And this brings us to what might be the highest form of respect for this changing world, the art of letting go. Consider these 3 expressions. First, releasing prayers into smoke that vanishes in seconds. The prayer isn't hoarded, it's surrendered entirely to the Creator. Second, listening to the wind. You can't capture the wind's voice in a jar. You simply have to be radically present to hear it before it passes. And third, and I think this is the most profound, the Navajo sand paintings, or ika. These intricate masterpieces take hours, sometimes days to create for a healing ritual. And the very moment the healing is done, they are ceremonially destroyed. Pouring your entire heart, soul, and artistic mastery into something only to willingly let it disappear is the ultimate sign of respect for the spirit within it. The true value is in the relationship, not in owning the object. I really want to pause on this quote because it holds such deep emotional resonance. Read it with me. I am not here to conquer nature, to own it, or to leave a permanent mark upon it. I am here to witness it, to honor it, and to flow with it. Just let that wash over you for a second. Imagine the relief, the absolute peace of shifting your life's purpose from being an owner who constantly has to control everything
to a participant who simply gets to witness and flow with the beauty of the world.
And that leads us right into our final thought. I want to leave you with this question to meditate on long after this explainer wraps up. If you stop trying to make everything you do permanent and instead embrace the beauty of the fleeting moment, how does the art of letting go change what you create? Think about your work, your relationships, your daily interactions. If the goal is no longer leaving a permanent mark, but simply honoring the flow, how does that free you? I really hope this exploration of the master plant has sparked some continuous curiosity for you. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And keep learning,